Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is October 6th, and right now we're looking at the mid-level water vapor loop. Take a look at that well-developed system out across the Gulf of Alaska, but it is quite a bit of ways from the Pacific Northwest. There's some nice sunshine out there right now. Had a bit of fog this morning, but you can see the precipitation that is pouring into places like Southeast Alaska, Western British Columbia. There's Haida Gwaii, Vancouver Island here, but most of that right now is coming in north of Vancouver Island. That is going to try to change as we go through the early portion of next week, and we'll take a look at that, what kind of frontal systems we're going to be dealing with here. We're going to be playing cat and mouse between some ridging here across the lower 48 and the Gulf of Alaska troughing. So let's take a look at what happened this morning. I'm going to scroll back towards about sunrise, and you can see this mid-level convection out there. That is those jellyfish clouds. If you saw those out there last night and this morning, that's what those are, those little bubbles of convection there with some virga underneath them, those jellyfish clouds, altocumulus the virga. And then if we scroll through this morning, you can see there was some fog out there this morning. I had a soccer game with my son out there at Lake Washington. Had some fog out and about, but you can see that has burned off since as we go on into the early afternoon hours. And you can see Mount Rainier right there. If you notice that right there, that little tiny clip there, that's a little lenticular cloud that just formed off of Mount Rainier. I may go back up here and again in the next couple of days. There's going to be some lenticular activity. Had a pretty good show last night up there as well, Sunrise Point, and I saw a nice lenticular cloud when sunset was occurring. So we scroll into where we are right about now. You can see there is still some marine layer towards the coastal areas and some mid-level clouds moving into western British Columbia, Vancouver Island. So taking a look at Three Tree Point here, and this is Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, but I selected, this is my house. I didn't put my house on there, but you can see the UV index is being shown by this weather station. Look at the solar radiation showing up. You can see the wind updating every few seconds. Lightning detection system stores all this data for you in the cloud. If you want one of these weather stations, click on that link down below to save 10% off. Look at SeaTac yesterday, 64 degrees. That's some nice sunshine out there. Not a bad day at all. 65 is the average high for this time of year. So far, just that 4,200th inch of rain that we got on October 4th, that frontal system. We average almost 4 inches of rain during the month of October. And by the time we get towards Halloween, we are dropped all the way down towards 56 degrees for an average high. Take a look at this. This is for Spokane National Weather Service. You can do this and you can register online, weather.gov/Spokane. You can see we got weather spotter and observer training, virtual fall training classes, cold season spotter training, snow measuring training. This is right up my alley here, folks. You want to check that out and you want to learn some more about how to observe weather, go ahead and check this out. And you can see this one here is on October 23rd. Now, this is my buddy's house out in Bonnie Lake. You can see that lenticular cloud there that's forming a little bit of a one up right on top of the mountain there also. But yeah, interesting stuff. Pretty good like lenticular activity maybe here over the next couple of days. Now, looking what is to come, you can see that Gulf of Alaska troughing working. You can see the ridging trying to develop across some of the Pacific Northwest, and in between we're getting that precipitation to western BC. Then you can see as we go on in through the day Tuesday, we're going to have this weak frontal system be decaying as it moves down in towards Washington. And we go on through Wednesday, we might keep some of that precipitation ongoing, and then we've got some troughing showing up closer to the west coast of North America. That even be affecting portions of California. But look at this Gulf of Alaska low out there, just really churning here on October 12th, the morning time of, and this is about the time where the comet may start to become visible in the night sky. So if we can keep those clouds far enough away, we could get some viewing of the comet. But look at this Gulf of Alaska troughing, just absolutely raising. Pacific North American positive oscillation in effect, and I'll show you more on that here in a moment. If we scroll way off into Fantasyland again, you can kind of see that troughing continue on towards the second half of October. But looking at the European as of 12 Zulu this morning, you can see that precipitation streaming into western BC, including Vancouver Island at times. As we go through tomorrow morning, you see that front really losing its punch by the time it gets down towards western Washington. Here we are through Tuesday morning, right about sunrise there. Man, I have another lenticular show across some of the Cascades with some of that activity. And then we scroll in through Wednesday. We kind of keep this troughing nearby here, so we could keep some showers and some precipitation going as we go through the day Wednesday, on and through Wednesday night, and then the system out here that might be moving down towards California here as well. And if we scroll far enough out, you can see additional frontal systems trying to make their way into the Pacific Northwest. And this could change rapidly, especially because we're looking 200 hours out. But you can see maybe a better frontal system as we go towards the mid portion of the month. No promises there. Looking at Seattle-Tacoma, you can kind of see we are showing up there mid-month here with a frontal system in the ensembles. But again, that's looking way out in the forecast. You're talking about 8-9 days out in advance. These gray lines are individual ensemble members. There are 50 of them with the European model. The blue line is a control run. That is the initial conditions, best we can understand them. And the green line is the mean, the average of all 50 ensemble members. Take a look at at Portland, something similar there as well. Shows that frontal system here showing on October 15th. But again, 9 days out. Just kind of looking at fantasy forecasts here. Bella Bella up there. Campbell Island, Vancouver. Not Vancouver, just British Columbia. Bella Bella is in British Columbia there, Campbell Island Airport. And you can see 100 millimeters is about 4 inches of rain. You can see the big amounts expected up across some portions of western British Columbia. The mean is showing about 4 plus 4 is 8 inches here by the time we go towards the morning of October 15th. And there it is, located right here. The Haida Gwaii, and then Vancouver Island is right there. And if we take a look at some fantasy wind forecasts out towards the mid portion of the month, you can see there is a couple scenarios with the few stronger gusts up into the 40-mile-per-hour range, but nothing at all that you would take seriously at this time frame. Purely just a fantasy windstorm. Nothing showing up with any confidence at all. And this is what I was talking about, the Pacific North American Oscillation Positive. That's the Gulf of Alaska troughing, churning right here. And then it takes a swing inland a bit here, but not too bad. And then it redevelops as we go through the mid-month period, and maybe we'll get a strong frontal system out of that. We'll see how that goes. And there it is, Pacific North American positive anomaly, Pacific North American negative anomaly, where the troughing is much further inland here, British Columbia, Washington State, for example. So if we look at, let me update this because I think the 18Z is running. It is. Let's see how much data we've got here. So if we scroll on in through tonight and we go on into tomorrow morning, you see that precipitation starting to move into Vancouver Island, western British Columbia. Starts to try to slide down a little bit here as we go through Monday afternoon and evening. We're only 31 hours there on the 18Z. So we're going to back up to the 12Z, and you can see some showers trying to move in here as we go through Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon. We continue on in through about Tuesday afternoon right there. That front is not packing that much of a punch, but it will bring some precipitation across the region, it looks like. Here's a 15-day precipitation anomaly on the European model run here, and of course western BC with the lion's share, but it is still including western Washington and Oregon with some above average precipitation potential, but that rapidly cuts off as you get towards southern Oregon and California. Now taking a look at the GFS, something similar here also, but that precipitation line a bit further north up across portions of Oregon, and again the lion's share to western British Columbia. And this is the GFS. We'll just go ahead and take a look at this for laughs. 500 millibars. You can see this system tries to swing through as we go through midweek. There's that system in California showing up on the GFS also, but then you see the Gulf of Alaska troughing, that's Pacific North American positive oscillation with the ridging well up into Canada here. And yeah, kind of that cat and mouse game between ridging and some systems trying to take a swing at the Pacific Northwest here. We'll see how that fleshes out as we go on in through the next few days. We'll be watching for sure. And again, that Comet C2023A3, and that will be October 14th, mainly through the 24th, from what I understand right now. So yeah, hopefully get a few night times where we can get some clear viewing of that comet, and we'll be checking out stuff like this when we get a bit closer. This is the European. If we scroll all the way out towards, this is October 12th right there. You can kind of see that would be not bad for the evening show if we can see it by that time. It might not be till the 13th or 14th though. And you can see kind of this cat and mouse game with some systems here, and are we going to get a break in between the clouds? We'll see how that goes. Here's the 6 to 10 day, the little above average here for western Washington, northwest Oregon. Then the 6 to 10 day, temperature outlook. Look at this, just above average for much of the lower 48, except for kind of the southeast there. But yeah, Pacific Northwest with good chances of being above average during this time period. But anyway, sorry for the late video here today. Had a soccer game this morning. Looks like I'm going to be competing against some NFL games right now. But anyway, I'll get this video out just as soon as I can. Hope you guys are having a good day otherwise, and I will talk to you guys later.